morning. I never went to sleep. It's 11 a.m. I to the on approach. Oh, true. Good morning. Good morning. Which project are you working on, Yanis? I've been working on a Minecraft server network for the past 5 weeks or so. It's very fun to make. Nice. god, the dog fight. Is it the dog again? Sorry. Don't understand what to say. There was a lot of parking outside when I wrote that. Yeah, no. Generally, they're probably dogs that are maintained in the house, inside the garden of the house. There's some fence, somewhat high fence, and then it's very calm in the streets because it's very early morning, very early morning. Then someone pass in the street, walking. I don't know if it's for everyone, but many times the dog get sketch about such an activity. It's very common in Brazil that people use dogs as sort of an alarm, an alert. So if it's a reality in Brazil. If how it's called, robber, stealer, in the, try to enter the house, at least the owner would be warned, that something strange is going on. Have you ever been robbed? Um, robbed, I think Rob that was on. It's not much raw, but the guy. I think he pretended he has a gun. He had a gun, and got some money from me. You know. But Robert, no food. I have lost some things by this, by theft. Ah, this is Mugged, right? Mugged. Yeah. Let me see. Yeah, assaulted, assault, mugged. I was mugged once, but that day I think I was very distracted. I was going to the therapy. I was very distracted, very low battery, you know. I think I was taken by surprise. You cannot, you know, you cannot, how, there's a saying in Portuguese, the chance ao azar. Yeah, I go to the therapy. The psychologist doesn't say anything. Do you know she's not? She's she's the therapist I was going to is maybe a classical therapist. She she just wanted me to talk about things, you know. She didn't do much advice or counseling at all. She was there just to listen to me. And actually, I thought I this sort of the guy was it wasn't much money, you know. Oh my gosh, it's so strange. Very sad that the person wants to do that, or the chance was give a chance to chance. In Portuguese, we call as to bad luck. Give chance to bad luck. It's interesting to say, give chance to chance. In this case, you're so sketchy that the chance may be a bad chance. In Brazil, you cannot be distracted much. Then, if you look like you're walking and you look like a tourist, la 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 la, do you know, like this? Jesus Christ. You wake up the other day without your valves intact anymore. Just kidding. All this that. Depending if you know. I no, just you cannot give a chance to change to chance. This is the same in English. Chance to bad luck. You cannot give a chance to bad luck. For example, the guy said, "Have you done that?" No, not at all. Did you sing this Smurf? Yeah, did you remember? Do you remember that often? I don't remember much this Smurf, how was the story, the stories. But there was a part, and it's very common when we were kids. You were singing while walking, jumping a bit, and not caring about any harm, you know. La 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 la. Isn't that Smurfs? Smurfs, right? Yeah, because many many series for kids, they generally tended to be very repetitive for small kids or teenagers. They tend to be very repetitive because people are developing their consciousness, right? And maybe I remember that the Smurf is the Smurf comics. I don't know how it's called. It was they have a lot of talk, a lot of sort of advanced concepts. Maybe it was too elaborated, for kids. Maybe it was too elaborate. For kids, I think it was too elaborate. For example, that Japanese things that were in Brazil, like Jaspion, Changer, I mean, the story is always the same. Someone done something bad. Yeah, I heard it's very beneficial to teach your kid piano at a certain age, like 7, 9 or something, and then learn a way easier. Google it between 2 and 7. Yeah, my mom says that's crucial, the early childhood for learning things. Actually, knowing that many parents that are like scientists or people that like to study a lot, they even exaggerate a bit. They try to put the kid in a lot of study things, piano and extra teachers and things like that. Because in this early age there's a big formation of the consciousness of the person. Your mom must have taught you programming from age 2 to 7. Around 7, 8, 9 years old, I was very interested in electronics. So I asked my father to buy magazines about electronics. I was in there was sort of electronics magazines for kids, not for kids, maybe for adults too. But I was able to read. So it is that when I was 10 years old, I got a computer, and instead of playing games with that, it was possible to load tapes with games, cassette tapes. I was programming instead. I read the manual that came with the computer. I, my parents gave me all the manual instructions of electronic devices for me to read. I don't know, maybe with 10 years old, you already can do it, right? And I got this 8-bit computer that was a Sinclair Spectrum equivalent. The perk tinker. No, actually, no, it's not like that. It's more like me. Maybe he's very smart. Do you know why she didn't? She know I was not able to fix much things because once I said she never get angry about that, and she never mentioned it later. But she let me disassemble a radio, a good radio. I can remember the brand Ico radio. It's a very good radio with cassette tape, you know. And I disassembled and said, Mom, I will assemble again, back again. I Christ, I disassembled it entirely. It was different. They had a cassette tape player. Right, that 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 parts, electronic parts, especially the capacitors, the electrolytic capacitors with that colors, you know, Christ, they look so cute. I kids are strange, right? Oh my gosh. I love analog stuff like that. Yeah, it's yeah. You know, the first devices were not digital at all. For a long time, we had the radios, TVs that were all analogic, you know. The video cassettes were mainly analogic, I think, yeah. Maybe there was some electronic part, but I think most of it, the earlier was analogic, you know. So maybe a lot of the circuits were incredible. The technology they managed to do, the cassette tapes, the look, the LP, the note I we call is vinyl record. It's totally analog, right? It's a needle that vibrates with the scratches in the plastic surface. The vibration is captured by a magnet in a coil, right? This electricity is amplified and then equalized. There's some bass treble analog filters, right? Amplified and put in a speaker to vibrate again louder. Very simple idea, sort of, right? The vibrations in the scratch are amplified and put in a speaker. Then you could, for example, have, a cassette tape recorder. That's the same idea where you record levels of magnetism in the tape vibration. You could record in a cassette tape. both the vinyl record. If you, we didn't have another, we could record a microphone if you connect the microphone or the radio. There was the receiver, right? The radio receiver. I even have two records but no player. I know, yes. Mm. I went, I when I was from fact CRT TVs from Net Unlimited. It's because yeah, so I wonder how does it play a game. No, no, no. It was not unlimited. There wasn't. It was already known for that frequency that was boundaries. Maybe the levels were very. Not even that, no, because there's a limitation. When you transmit a signal with a certain encoding, even if it's analogic, it's gonna occupy a certain band. So there's a limitation. There was vertical. Even there was a problem. If there was problem with the synchronization of the vertical sync, the image could be scrolling in the frames. There was frames per second, surely. It was not unlimited. The signal was analogic. And do you know, even if it's analogic, there's a sampling frequency. Because if you say actually that the signal is could be very high frequency, it would occupy so much band that it would interfere with the other channels. So it could not be unlimited precision of hertz also. Depends where the signal came from, of course, if they send 30 images per second. But from the tech perspective, if you run something through it on 1000 FPS, it will just show the frames coming. I googled this the other day. Not true, Ian. Not true. Maybe you read something wrong. No, no way. No, not. It's not unlimited. It's not unlimited at all. It's not unlimited. Maybe they are telling that in a very special equipment, very well made, that the guy tried with certain purpose make it unlimited. Then maybe you can reach this if you had a signal like that. But most equipment, no, they are not that. It's not possible to do that at all. It's not possible. Not possible at all. The protocols are very clear. You know, for example, the NTSC frames per second, frame rate. It's fixed, you know, 29.97 to synchronize with the power grid. Look. And the PAL-M that was adopted in Brazil is another frame rate. This is exactly 30. There were lines too, you know. There's a resolution. It's not unlimited at all. And the equipment was optimized to be sold to the consumers, a lot of consumers, at a very specific frequency. You know, it's tuned, Yanis. If it's out of tune, nothing appears. It's not possible to hear. It's tuning. Do you know what's tuning? You're in this channel. You cannot capture something from another channel. The signal just doesn't appear at you. It could at most interfere, but what happens? Generally, the signals from other bands, because they are different, if they interfere with your band, they won't make sense. So they would appear as a noise. All mixed interference of the other channels if they are not well filtered, you know, if they're too strong. And what you see in your image is what you you know. I had studied a bit of. I had a technician electronics even on the technician course, because I remember when I was doing in electrical engineering, there was not enough room to study CRT, and CRT was already going away, you know, maybe. I think I remember it wrong. I think it was unlimited first, but it was zero latency. Zero latency. I don't know if it's zero latency. I don't know exactly. What do you mean by latency? What do you mean by latency? Do you know? Okay, nowadays there's a lot of techniques that on purpose you put a lot of latency to transmissions to make it possible to do censorship, right? But in that time, I think they need. That time was more difficult, maybe because it was more difficult to record and things like that. They have to take much more care to transmit, because they could have problems to know what to set. They didn't have the chance. Maybe they have just one camera also. How you gonna move to another camera, show a different image, you know? So maybe things were much more formal, much more totally different. You could not control the image. This zero delay, it doesn't mean zero delay. It was not inserted any delay, any additional delay. You know, delay always exists. There wasn't a cassette tape like I record the images I'm recording, and then I play like the tape is 5 seconds later. You know, there wasn't something like that, I think. There was not additional inserted delay, you know, maybe because the circuitry was mainly analogical. There was not such a. It's difficult to store a big memory analogically, you know. If you record, it's like a longer term recording. You're gonna play much later, you know. You cannot, for example, this delay they put in Twitch. What is it? They receive the data that's coming like in frames that were encoded, and they why there's a lot of delay because the computers are not so fast. Generally, they are doing other things in the computer, so there's a delay from the encoding part because you're compressing the signal on the CRTV is occupies a low band, but it's uncompressed. You know, it's not compressed at all. It's not compressed. There's no compression. So we have to compress nowadays to transmit. So there's this delay. There's the compression delay, alright. And also Twitch because of Lego. Twitch doesn't want to, you know, Jude's, special leftists, Jude's, incredibly, it's not the right wing Jude's. It's the leftists like opportunity to grab you money from you, you know. So they like to create laws that are strategic to take money from people. So they create some logic thing. I don't. You like your child. They hate the family. They want to destroy the family. But as long as you like the child, they can grab you money because you don't want what they do. If someone show something bad in Twitch, the streamer gonna be banned. They don't have to pay. But probably Twitch for the children, they're gonna have to pay a lot of money. It gonna it cost quite expensive. They're gonna to pay a very high bill. Not even much proportional, you know. Maybe they tried to argue there was nobody watching or something like that. What do you think about Dubai? I don't know nothing about Dubai except that buildings that from far look very modern. Maybe they want to give him, like I like to say, they wanted to tell that atoms look like this, very colorful. Look how the atoms are. A nucleus. The nucleus is almost invisible first, and the orbit of the electrons is unknown. It's like a statistical. It's a sphere. One electron moves like very fastly and occupies the space like a full sphere. And not necessarily. I don't know how they moved. It's not elliptical like the Earth. So is Dubai like this thing? Maybe if you enter a room, an office in an apartment in Dubai, it's just like this room, I don't know, maybe with better furniture. Then you're gonna turn on a screen and you're connected to YouTube. So I don't know what much the point of that. Maybe it's a show off that they sell a lot of petroleum, and most people in their population are poor. I don't know what's the only the people that are owners of the petroleum farms have money. Is it that they are showing off? I don't know. I don't like much Dubai. I wouldn't like to go there. I would be afraid because I think everything there would be expensive, not friendly at all. Do you know? Are you? I mean, Arabic people tended to be very rude, right? They are good if they're interested in your money, but probably they wouldn't be. Are you interested in radioactivity? For a while, I was really interested in Chernobyl. No, radioactivity is dangerous, right? Not at all. Depends if they work for you. They're nice. The people working at the airport were rude to me. Ah, yeah, probably if they work, people working for you should be nice, right? I was waiting for them to check my passport and they were looking at TikTok behind the counter. Ah, do you know, there's this part, right? You're in a sort of fancy place. You need to make the best of it, right? No, they look at the TikTok. No. At least you have something to say. They were doing that. Maybe you don't have the excuse to tell they were very fishy and depressed at you. My friends said that they only respect you if you look like you mean business. Ah, yeah, it should be. It should be, yeah. People that say that they have gone to Dubai also is mainly to show status because there's no actual meaning, right? Technically speaking, or in competence, there's nothing. It's just about status, right? How are you able to talk more than you usually do if you want to achieve a certain goal, you know? Release. be honest, pretty much just the same as at home. Don't leave the hotel much. I looked outside more than usual. Just worked low, just a change of scenery. Okay. It give me a good perspective on what I'm working for because I don't really spend my money. Usually, since I'm just at home, so actually doing something with it was pretty cool. Made it more real. Not that I'm working to be in Dubai, that would be kind of shit cool. No, don't know, maybe it's inspiring, right? It's a different place. It's like, for example, here in Curitiba, there's ca2. It's a things. It's a shopping mall, shopping center in a things part of in a things part of the things town in Curitiba, very expensive stores, but you have to enter so much in inspire me a lot. Ah, yeah, yeah. This is the idea, right? Maybe, like I was saying, in terms of inspiration, for example, if you tell the atom is like, for example, like these things here, you can grab much more money from the person, right? Ah, look, you're doing it seriously. But this is not the truth, right? The truth is different. If the atom is more like this, maybe it's no look for kids. This is very good. Ah, look how the atoms look. Then you tell this is science. Then next to the science thing, you tell Obama is the best president of the United States. This is how the left built their speech, right? They grab some science and they say they have the authority to tell it. They use what to grab your money, right? Because you want to give your money to a thing fabricated in a favela, right? Should I visit Brazil or will I get money? To be honest, Yanis, I don't know. Well, go wherever you want to go, then I cannot give you a recommendation. Listen to your heart. If you're afraid of being mugged, because many people say that, better not come. Because when you're afraid, maybe this people, humans feel when you're afraid, And imagine you showing you are afraid and have criminals. Christ is a bad recipe. You know? It's so easy to notice when someone's afraid, isn't it? So if you're afraid, better not come, Let me see here. While you were afraid, let me see. There are some American people that have channels in gringo, they call forge gringo. This name says gringo no Brasil. There are some people that come to Brazil and have channels. I don't know. Therefore, there are beautiful and drunk. What is this?
So Brazil is the best country in the world for food. Besides original dishes, they also take food from other countries and they make it better in the most Brazilian way possible. I mean, hot dogs, better in Brazil. Hamburgers, better in Brazil. Sushi, better in Brazil. Stroganoff, better in Brazil. Even McDonald's, the thing that most represents my country, is better in Brazil. It's crazy. So Brazil is the best country in the world for food. Besides
Vou morar aqui agora.
Tem nossas coisas, tem o trabalho.
Que coisas, trabalho, vende tudo, coloca no caminhão, depois traz. Eu decidi, eu quero morar aqui, olha isso daqui. Qualidade de vida, ar puro, meu... Eu vou morar aqui agora.
Tem nossas coisas, tem o trabalho.
Que coisas, trabalho, vende tudo, coloca no caminhão, depois traz. Eu decidi, eu quero morar aqui, olha isso daqui. Qualidade de vida, ar puro, meu... Eu vou morar aqui agora.
Tem nossas coisas, tem o trabalho.
Minha gente, não acredito, aquele gringo fuxiqueiro que voltou pro seu habitat natural, foi? Gringo, rapaz, tu voltou pro Nordeste, foi?
Graças a Deus, não aguentei mais essa
Olha pra isso. E tu tá fazendo o que aqui, homem?
Só na Maria chegar. Sempre que eu vou pegar o Pitu, eu dou no pra gente.
Oi, com esse gringo fica bem humorado aqui.
Acabo de assistir aqui,
Mas olha pra isso, minha gente. Então, me leva.
Esse cara fez um vídeo dizendo que o Brasil é o país mais bizarro do mundo. E reagiu a uma série de vídeos brasileiros e ele saiu completamente assustado. Primeiro que ele começou vendo esse vídeo de uma repórter apresentando uma notícia quando do nada ela faz isso. E ele ficou completamente inconformado de como isso foi natural pra ela. E que ela ainda escolheu pelo mais difícil, que além de usar a cabeça, ela usou o ombro. Porque como todos sabem, os gringos acham que a gente almoça arroz com futebol. E depois ele reagiu a um vídeo de caminhoneiros de lixo e disse várias vezes como o Brasil é 1000 vezes mais animado que os Estados Unidos. E que até os lixeiros de lá andam a 5 por hora e são velhos barrigudos, enquanto os nossos fazem umas 5 horas de cardio por dia. Mas foi aí que ele viu o outro lado, um grupo de barrigudos fazendo churrasco dentro de um ônibus em movimento. E ele falou que o sonho dele era participar de algo assim e repetiu o quanto os Estados Unidos é chato. E ele ainda questionou se isso seria ilegal, mas foi aí que ele falou a seguinte frase: ah, é, lá no Brasil tudo é legalizado. Essa é a visão que eles têm da gente. E não só isso, mas os gringos acham que só existe uma floresta no Brasil. Igual nesse vídeo ele falou que as crianças estavam super felizes no meio da floresta amazônica, porque pra eles a floresta amazônica pega o quintal de todo brasileiro. E ele ainda fez questão questão de enfatizar o quanto os vídeos de motoqueiro fugindo da polícia no Brasil é muito forte. Esse gringo fez um vídeo dizendo que o Brasil... 4 comidas que quando eu cheguei no Brasil eu achei ligeras. Não gostei, mas hoje em dia eu estou viciado nela. A primeira eu acho bem óbvia, é farofa. Assim, qualquer gringo que vê farofa não vai gostar desse lanche, porque pra mim eu pensava, por que estão me dando areia pra colocar na carne? Isso é muito estranho, mas faz muita diferença. Não sei como descrever, é muito boa, é viciante. Falando sobre churrasco, depois vinagrete. Mano, a combinação é muito simples. Tomate, sabe, tomate, cebola, etc. Mas no Brasil tem uma coisa especial sobre essa combinação. Não sei o que é, talvez seja não, sei lá, mas realmente vinagrete, farofa, churrasco. Número 3, tapioca. Nós temos tapioca nos Estados Unidos, mas é diferente de como no Brasil, tapioca é tão simples, mas, mano, é muito viciante. É tão simples, tão bom pra fazer com feijão. Dá pra você colocar qualquer coisa, doce, banana, mas dá pra fazer uma coisa salgada, sei lá. Eu estou viciado em comer tapioca. Número 4, pastel. Olha, eu sei que em qualquer outro país, uma coisa, uma fritura dessa, beleza, come, mas é nada demais quando tá bêbado, coisa assim. Mas no Brasil, de novo, tem uma coisa especial, não sei o que é, um pastel que é tipo muito viciante. E é muito, muito bom. Pastel da fera com calda de açúcar. Outra coisa, calda de açúcar. Adoro. Calda de carne.
Gringos experimentando comidas brasileiras.
Pão de queijo.
It looks like cheese and bread.
Oh. I'm surprised it was crunchy on the outside. I thought it would be like soft all the way through.
This is an 8 for me.
7.
Coxina. This looks like a deep fried pear.
Yes, it does look like a deep fried pear. Oh, you eat like that? We eat like that?
It was not a deep
Who
fried pear.
eats it like that?
I do. It's very tasty. The outside was really good.
But it's like mashed potatoes, but it makes your fingers squeezy.
You're a gamer. Your hands are constantly greasy.
But I use
you
my
don't
fork
shower.
for this.
You don't shower for weeks.
Nice shower nowadays. 8.5. This is better for me.
I like the bread better, so this one I'll give a 7. Because it was very nice, but I like the bread better.
Have you guys tried? Have you got the eat before?
Yes.
No,
I think I have. Squishy. Oh, it's
That's
like
very chocolatey. I think the other chocolate on the outside also makes it nicer. You have two different textures.
Yeah. This is also 10 for me.
Yeah, for me as well.
Gringos experimentando comidas brasileiras.
Pão de queijo.
It looks like cheese and bread.
Oh. I'm surprised it was crunchy.
99% das pessoas não conhecem esses truques de vida práticos. 1. Para evitar que crianças se machuquem com pregos e tábuas de madeira, use 2 chaves para entortar os pregos e depois martelá-los na madeira. Assim, ninguém corre o risco de ferir os pés. 2. Primeiro, limpe a poeira da tela do celular. Depois cole fita adesiva transparente sobre a tela. O único rolo de fita pode ser usado várias vezes como película protetora, sem precisar gastar dinheiro em lojas de celulares. 3. Se a chave inglesa for muito grande para girar um parafuso, basta colocar algumas arruelas no espaço e assim será possível girá-lo facilmente. 4. Puxe a sacola para frente e cruze as alças, depois puxe novamente e cruze mais uma vez. Esse método fecha o saco de forma firme, evitando vazamentos mesmo se virar de cabeça para baixo. 5. Se um anel de metal cair acidentalmente no vaso sanitário, prenda um ímã em um cabo de madeira e use-o para recuperar o anel, que depois pode ser limpo e usado novamente. 6. Use luvas
If the ring.
7.
Oh my god. Hi, Cyborg. Welcome back to the stream.